Hey guys, so today I'm going to just do a quick video demo of a React application that I've created called RecipeHub. So RecipeHub is basically a GitHub for recipes where users can add their own recipes and fork recipes that other users have created or that are present in the existing recipe library. So this is the code base for this particular application. If we scroll down, you can see all the features, how to use it, how to implement it in and run it in your own system. So as of now, I have hosted this up onto a website. And 1 second, yeah, I'm just going to quickly reload this. Yeah, so this is what loads when you first click on this link over here. So we have on the top, we have a few recipes. So if you click on either of these, it will open up a recipe. So first of all, we will go to my recipes. Over here, you can see the user's created none. So it is empty for now, and it says recipes found. If we go back, we have another option called fork recipes, which would be the recipes that the user has forked so far. As of now, the user has forked none, so this is empty as well. If we go to all recipes, over here you can see there are a list of recipes that we have already. Please note that these are all hard-coded for now, as in it is in the database over here, right, which I have manually added. Let's just see how a recipe should ideally be displayed over here. So let's try to see how to create a cheeseburger. So clicking on it gives you the name of the recipe, the image of the recipe, the ingredients that you need to make this, and how to prepare it as well. We can see that the author name is over here, and you have the option to fork this particular recipe. So let's go ahead and first create our own recipe and see if it gets added to this library. Okay, so I have an existing recipe that I have kept here that I'm just going to quickly copy and paste into this form. So if you can see, we have recipe name, and then you can add your ingredients one by one in here. You can add the name of the ingredient and the quantity of it. I'm just going to very quickly finish filling up this form, and then we will come back. Yeah, as you can see, I have added in the recipe name, the ingredients that we're using for this, the instructions, and the author, and I'm going to also upload an image here. It is optional, but I want to upload one, so I'm going to do it. And then you click on save, and then it has added, and let's just see if it has added in there. So we go to all recipes, and yeah, there we go. This is the one we just added. So it has all of our ingredients exactly as we added. It has all of our preparation as well. And it also says that I have, as you can see, this is the author, these are the ingredients, this is the preparation and the image of it. So let's go ahead and fork this. And we are back to the same form as before, but the only difference now is we have all of the recipe and ingredient data prefilled. So I want to add another step in here saying, let's just add an instruction, right? So we'll say serves 4 to 5 people, all right? And I want to upload an image as well. And let's save that. Okay, thank you very much. And if we go to fork recipes, there we go. We have cannoli now. And there we go. The new instruction that we added, it is here. So yeah, this is practically how the application works. So you can go ahead and create more recipes and you can fork them, etc. So let's go over how this actually works. So this is the UML diagram. So yeah, so we have a recipe manager, which is basically RecipeHub in our case. Recipe list, which is all of the recipes, all of the users that you have. So right now the application is restricted to one particular user, but so we don't have a list of users, but on a larger scale, this would have multiple users. So in the recipe, we have the name of the recipe, the ingredients, which would be a list of the ingredients class, which we will come back to in a second. We have instructions, which is basically an array of strings. We have the user, which is who our author is. Then we have these other options that we can do, which we can fetch all of the recipes. We can add a new one. We can fork a recipe. Forking a recipe would basically redirect us to the form that we just saw and where we can modify that particular fork recipe, right? So we have our user class where we have the username of the user, the recipes that they have forked, the ones they have created, etc. All right. Let's just go over a quick code review of our classes and how they work. So each user has a list of created recipes, which is basically an array of names of the recipes. So we use that to fetch the particular recipe details. And in the fork recipes, we will basically be modifying an existing recipe, which means that we have to create a new recipe or a copy of the existing recipe. So for that, we have an array of recipe details as it is. So let's just take a quick look at what recipe details object actually is and what it has. So as we saw in the form, we have a recipe name, we have an author, we have the instructions, which is an array again of strings. We have recipe ingredients, which is another class by itself. And this is the image URL, which we will be using just to fetch all of our recipe details. In the ingredient class, we have the ingredient name and the quantity, as we saw. So this is basically how we are using object-oriented programming in our particular application in our project. Another way where we are using object-oriented programming would be somewhere over here, where we are creating an instance of our Firebase configuration, right? So Firebase is basically what is handling all of our backend data over here, where you have all of the recipes and then each user. So as new users are created, we will have multiple user documents here, their created recipes and the recipes that they have forked as well. So how I am doing that right now is this way. So we have a Firebase configuration, and I'm using this Firebase configuration instance to basically do DB calls. I'm creating another class called my Firebase DB when I'm using Firebase config instance, and I'm using this to basically fetch everything on my web page as of now. So this is how RecipeHub works. It's a quick overview of this entire project and this application. Thank you.